Hello everyone, how are y'all doing? Today we are going to be painting some harpooners, and seems like we somehow don't have my camera feed yet for the painting cam. Oh, there it is. It's coming along. It's a little blurry, but hopefully it will improve. Yeah, looks like it's getting better. Yeah, we're gonna paint some harpooners. Hi, Deadosy Gamer. Hi, Guslado. Hi, Weird Kyle. So we finished this harpooner, and then last stream we also started her body, which we're gonna continue working on now. And I also finished the base for Ruffles. You might have seen it posted on a weird place, possibly. I think it turned out pretty good. I've got Bo Peep's base in progress. Takes a little longer to make because I'm doing some splash effects for where the piggy runs into the water. But you'll see that shortly, and I will have a tutorial up on how to do these water effect bases on YouTube soon, like swamp bases. And I hope you think they look pretty cool. I kind of like them. I'm excited to show you the water effect splashes on Bo Peep's base. And I'm going to do that on the base with the bunny too when I get around to painting that. I thought, and I'm getting crazy with water effects, so if all goes to plan, the harpooners will be standing on a like drab, depressing looking beach. I pondered doing a nice beach, but then I Googled depressing British beach. Sometimes you get the really weird Googles when you look for references. Turns out depressing British beaches look pretty much like depressing Swedish beaches. And they weren't actually that depressing. Yeah, I tend to do some pretty weird Googles. Voldocast as internet provider doesn't seem like the best one, but maybe that's just prejudice. Is Kyle Waldo secretly? Okay, maybe. So I'm gonna, like last time we painted this guy's skin in Catachan Flesh, I want to say it's called, or Catachan Flesh, yeah, from Citadel, and washed it with Agrax Earth Shade from the same brand. And that wash gave us some shadows, but also darkened down the miniature quite a lot. So we're not going to go over all the skin details with Catachan Flesh again. And I am leaving like some areas untouched this time. We're leaving the Agrax, God, that's a weird word, Agrax Earth Shade as well, a shade. And sort of using this as the first highlight. So we're doing our first highlight with the same mix or same paint we base coated the miniature with, whilst leaving some of that dark brown from the Agrax Earth Shade wherever we think the darkest shadow should be. So I'm covering quite a lot with this, but still leaving some dark brown. And I know it's that like the mini is a little shiny right now, so it might be hard to pick up exactly what's going on sometimes, but yeah. Secrets out. Yeah, okay, so we know now. Waldo lives in Kyle's beard. That's another theory. Jagger Mage, hello from Spain. Hi, how are you doing, Jagger Mage? And how's everyone doing? Today's a pretty hot day in Sweden. Like, not unbearably hot, but nice. I had lunch from a food truck, had some falafel, and somehow, at least here in Gothenburg, like the best falafels, you get them from food trucks, I find. It was pretty damn good. I feel like a lot of restaurant falafel can be really boring. This one was pretty good. How hot is it? I think it's like 24 degrees Celsius or something. What that is in Fahrenheit, I have no clue. Let's say 50. It's not 50. I just said a number. I think it's 24 Celsius something. 75.2. I gotta say, like, Fahrenheit is pretty weird. Why do you guys keep doing that shit? This guy is pretty damn muscular. He was very ready for Malifaux Beach 1900, whatever the year is currently. At least they don't have COVID, but they have the Burning Man. So you win some, you lose some. So I'm trying to hit all the raised areas of his muscles, leaving shadow in the recesses. And this guy's muscles are pretty well defined. I feel kind of mean about the fact that I googled depressing British beach. I'm sorry. If there are any Brits watching, I'm sorry. They were not more depressing than the Swedish beaches. I got a lot of pictures of people being sad on beaches, though. That's not exactly what I was looking for, but Jagger Mage, in my town, it's 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Hot, but it's okay. Could be worse. Yeah, that's like, for a Swede, that's really hot. I would have liked to have gone swimming one more time before the summer's over. Alas, not today. But I'm here painting miniatures on this lovely stream, so I shan't complain. Painting his abs. This Harpooner reeled in a lot of big marine life. I wonder if fish is like in Malifaux. Gonna have to lean in real close to paint this here face. I wonder what took his eye. Maybe a Malifaux great white or great purple. I don't know. Right, we do of course have the, maybe it was the Frenzy. The Mali Sharks. Anyone painting anything cool right now? Guslaughter, much like your chicken, that Harpooner has seen some things. He has indeed. He's been tangling with a lot of gibbering fish, I think. Gotta paint him up so he's ready. Dragging people out of defensive auras and stuff. With this trusty harpoon. What should we name this Harpooner? What should we name the last Harpooner? Can't forget to paint the fingers. Salty Samantha. Maybe. Yeah, for the last one, I kind of got that. Yeah, maybe. Sam for shorts. She does look kind of salty. But maybe salty is a bit on the nose. Salty Sam, yeah. Tiny Tim. Yeah. This could be Tiny Tim. Tiny for short. Sorry. I forgot to remove the sound from my, or the vibration from my phone. So I got a reminder that I'm gonna have my second jab tomorrow. I should put a reminder on having a haircut too. So now, to further highlight this, I thought I'd add some Reaper tan skin. Hooray for vaccinations, yeah. Good to have Owen House Pfizer. I pretend that you get to be like in a Harry Potter house or something. Or maybe it's a Game of Thrones house. So added in some Reaper tan skin. And I'm gonna try and stay in the camera. because that would help. And we're going over the same areas, looking for the raised parts of the muscular details. Gonna try and contour in a nipple here. So we're leaving a bunch of the pure Caddian flesh showing. Putting this Caddian flesh tan skin mix like in the middle of those highlights. Because when I discuss with people which flavor vaccination we got, I think of it like the gangs from West Side Story snapping out fingers at each other. I never watched the West Side Story, but maybe that's why to me it's more like Game of Thrones houses. Gotta come up with some sort of house motto for House Pfizer. Sounds a little strict. Hogwarts houses. Yeah, that was I thought of that too. Like, could be Hogwarts houses. Gotta paint those knuckles. Paint did get a little shiny after the wash, so it's a little hard to see. Shine is distracting. I wonder if someone's going to try and make a vaccine towards Cadmus. I feel like maybe Malfoy would need one. Cadmus is scary, you know. So maybe it's not a virus. Yeah, and I feel like some of the pop culture references go lost, some don't. It's difficult to know which ones. Yeah, that's what dawned on me, that Cadmus is more of a parasite than a virus. Which is trickier. Thinking of that, cordyceps is like my favorite parasite. Cordyceps is such a cool thing. Did you know of it? Like this fungi parasite, which basically inspired The Last of Us and The Girl with All the Gifts and more. Yeah, it's the mind control fungus. It's like the coolest thing ever. And potentially like the scariest thing ever. It is terrifying, yeah, in a cool way. Sean Gleason, a good old flamethrower, should take care of them. Yeah, that's true. True. Call the Freight Court. Sean, you having anything cool on your table of paint, your paint table? The shine is making it a little bit difficult. Maybe I didn't shake the wash properly. It's like if you find your washes make your miniatures shiny. They should make them shady, but preferably not shiny. But then that might mean that you need to shake them. So all that different, like the components of the shade get mixed properly. Because there's something in them that makes me shiny. So it's the last day of August. I feel like that often has a special feel to it. Like it's very much a summer day, but you really feel that autumn is looming. At least I do. So right now I'm putting together an Outcast crew and the Wild Ones, but I have Iron Hill Dwarf Goat Riders. Cool. Goat Riders. That's pretty cool. The Wild Ones, that's the Nightmare in the Cave crew, right? With Rollins Black and Ellie Ramone. I've got Ellie Ramone actually. I need to build that mini. It's a little nice because my family tends to call me Ellie a lot of the time. Need some autumn around here. Texas heat is dumb. Yeah, I can imagine. Imagine it being really hot. It's the Wild Ones, that is. Rollins Black, yeah. It's a tricky box to put together, right? Lots of tiny different parts. But really cool models. Can't wait to see the Nightmare box of this year. Sean, what do you think of the new McCabe? I'm going back over these areas because I like in some places I put too much of the highlight mix, so I'm going back over them with a little bit of pure Kardashian flesh. Adding in some contours sort of to the highlighted areas where I sort of happen to sort of drown out the area with the highlight mix so that too little of the previous mix was showing. Very tricky, but not bad. He's a bit strange. Yeah, like I read his card and I found it a little bit strange too. But like, here's something where people with artifacts reduce the jewels of enemies nearby them, right? That sounds pretty powerful. I feel like I missed the horse, but I can of course play the old version, but like, we'll see. Wild Ones box was definitely a challenge to build. I should paint mine one day. Yeah. You should. They're cool models. Iggy Pop is awesome. I really like Iggy Pop. Cute model, fun reference. He's almost ran off with a Reva's horse. Yeah. I bet. Aw, maybe they're in love. Or maybe they're off adventuring. When painting dark skin, what do you tend to use for highlights? I mean, depends what kind of skin tone you do, of course. Got lots of them. So I guess that depends. So I'm mixing in a little bit more tan skin into the previous mix. Using a wet palette makes it easier to just mix in a little bit more at a time. And I'm picking out some details in his face, like his nose and his glorious, glorious cheek. Cheek? No, chin. I always get that confused because in Swedish, some of them facial parts have got similar names to the English ones, but are like different. So I didn't mean the cheek, I meant the chin. Now we're painting the cheek. It's like also a little confusing. wrist in English. Here, right? On the hand, but wrist in Swedish is the ankle. Why do they do these things? It's just confusing. Doing thin highlights on the abs here. Like they're a little mashed together since it's crouching. So we're doing them in lines. Totally in love and starting their own horse-based crew. Yeah, I feel like if we nag weird enough about this, maybe we will get the new master horse and their crew. Although, I suppose we could just buy the Pixie Farts box. Since that is a horse crew. Picking out the collarbone. Ears. Are you guys looking forward to autumn? I guess you said you are, Goslado, because Texas heat. Highlight the upper lip. Almost forgot about that. And his cheek a little bit like underneath the band-aid. Or scarf. Working now? Never mind, it's working now. I don't think I got the... Maybe had a connection issue because I didn't get the last text. I think the chat was taking a break. Chat frozen, yeah. It's Rasputina doing stuff. Imagine if Rasputina and Waldo teamed up. That'd be horrible, wouldn't it? Brush licking commences. I like on the muscles on the back here, we're doing the brighter colors closer and closer to the shadow, like this. Since it's curved, and that would catch the most light. I think this is about right. We're pretending light is coming from straight above. And like the upper muscles, we don't have to do that as much because those will have the light hitting them more directly, like in the middle. But here again, we're doing the highlight right below the shadow of the muscle above. Which skin tones do you like for non-Caucasian skin? Like non-Caucasian skin is like a huge category. Like Caucasian skin is perhaps one skin tone. Non-Caucasian skin, like I don't want to say I use this for the rest of the whole world's skin tones, but like experimenting with what colors to use for skin tones is a lot of fun. And this time I'm using Kardashian Flesh highlighted with Reaper Tan Shadow. And the Reaper Tanned triad of paints, I feel that kind of works pretty well for some more like that works pretty well for just like tan people or some like Eastern Asian skin tones, like a lot of skin tones. Like there's so many skin tones. I find the Reaper tan skin tones are pretty flexible. Like if you want, they also have olive skin. So I find Reaper makes it pretty easy to, like they got golden skin too. They make it pretty easy to pick colors for a specific skin tone, which can otherwise be pretty hard. I mean, with GDub colors, it's very confusing. Like, okay, Kislev Flesh. Yeah, what the hell does that mean? And what should I highlight it with? And what should I shade it with? The GDub or Citadel, they've gotten better at skin tones. They like, usually it was a bit awkward when they had like Caucasian flesh tones named Flesh, and then okay, what if I want to paint someone with like African American skin. Okay, you go for the scorched brown and the bestial brown, and that doesn't really that doesn't sound very good, does it? And now they got like Darko Flash, Kadashan Flash, and stuff. But yeah, Reaper skin tones. You like them too? Yeah, they're nice. Oh yeah, you actually don't have the dark skin triad. So I use this instead. I don't really have a place to buy Reaper paints anymore. I could, of course, order them online. So I might check out the dark skin triad. When painting my rail crew, like the Mei Feng and her Eastern Asian minis in that box, I did a mix. I mixed several different colors, but I think I mixed 3 or 4 colors to get that right, because I wanted a slightly golden skin tone, but with some olive in it. And if I did that now, I might just pick the tan skin or golden skin tone and add a tiny bit of some olive green. Just you need to not overdo that though, because it can look really weird. Okay, when you're painting Asian, so you're painting rail workers, they're depicted as Eastern Asian characters. It's a little awkward if you're yeah, I'm gonna pick a super yellow paint. That doesn't really look very good. It could look like a caricature. It's a lot about subtlety when it comes to skin tones, I find. Oh, Reaper's based in Texas? That's nice. I try to vary what skin tones I paint the minis in more and more. It's something I've started doing more and more in the last few years, and that's because, partly it's fun, and partly it's very boring, and if you paint everyone, it's easy to get very white centric in a lot of miniature games. Thankfully, because let's face it, miniature games is a very white hobby. Most players are white. And I really like that Malifaux is doing Word is doing their best with their games to have very diverse casts. Really like that. Oh, hi, Ashenhold. Sorry, I didn't see you first. How are you doing? Fully chromatic from dark shadow all the way up to far highlight. Wait, what do you mean? That's how you do it? That's how you paint it? Or you can pick them all in a spectrum and it works. Okay, yeah. Cool. I think it's a bit of a challenge to paint this pretty large open areas of muscle. Like, there are so many areas to try and get a nice transition of color on. Like, you could work on the same area for quite some time, and then you got so many different areas to cover. So painting this model could take a long time if you're very meticulous. And we'll see how meticulous I'll be, but like, I'm trying to find a balance. Just sitting while you're doing some work. That's totally fine. Hope you're having a nice work day, Ash and Old. Dark skin, dark highlight, tan shadow. Yeah, sounds good. Next time I shall be on the lookout for Reaper paints when I order stuff online next time. Because a lot of the stores in Sweden, they mostly carry Citadel and Vallejo. This guy is ripped, yeah. He's reeled in a lot of big Gribblies from Gibbering Hordes, maybe? Wrestled with a frenzy and... So, tell me your best fisherman jokes or harpoon-related jokes. Like, I know one, but I'm not gonna say it. It's too mean. I don't want to say it. And it's not even very good. Best fishing joke, yeah? I'm fishing for jokes here. Hey. Not even joking, no? Fishing for jokes in the miniature painting stream. A number of years ago, an armed robbery was committed near me using a harpoon to hold the victim up. The guy stole an old harpoon out the Maritime Museum. See, I was reading that being like, where's the joke? That's just horrible. And there's no joke, right? That's horrible. That sounds either very Scottish or very Florida. I'm not going to comment on that, but I do enjoy this whole Google Florida man and your birthday and see what comes up. That's a funny thing. Most inefficient robbery ever. I wonder if that's like a robbery where they go like, you know what we should do? You know what we should do? We should totally steal this javelin I've been eyeing up at the museum. Like, that's just weird. Super weird. Your birthday, Florida man, is Florida man in Easter Bunny Brawl is a fugitive. That's nice. What are we thinking of the skin? Do you think it looks good? Ah, I say that and I proceed to drop my brush. God. See, I don't think I'd use harpoon. But Tiny here, he'd probably use a harpoon. Nah, he'd not commit a robbery. He makes an honest living fishing. And so does Salty Sam. Samantha. It's what we named the other harpooner. I'm painting the lips with... Okay, I made the paint too thin. Like I mixed the Reaper stuff with a tiny bit of red paint. Tiny wouldn't need the harpoon to get what he wanted. Oh. Wouldn't. Do. Oops. So I grabbed some pure Reaper tan skin, trying to super thin highlights in some select areas. Like we're looking for the last highlights we did, and you're doing a very thin line, to my standards at least, and showing most of the previous mix. Like the knuckles make, I want some good definition there. Tiny is good, people. Tiny is a professional. I like that the Harpooners can reel in markers. I think that could be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of markers in the Malifaux Burns meta. And they can move them around. And I think it's obligatory that when you do that, you're gonna like do a funny accent and be like, oh, got a big one here. I think so, at least. Gotta be a bit cringe. It's a bit cringe to use the word cringe, especially if you're above 30, which I am. Isn't it? nipple? Chest muscle. Is calling something cringe a Gen Z thing. I think it's more one younger generation than that, but I'm not sure. So what's that, Gen Y? No, it's not Gen Y, right? It's what's the next generation younger than Gen Z? Maybe it is Gen Z. I really don't know about this yet. I do know it's cringe if I say the word cringe. Maybe the word cringe is just out. There are humans younger than Gen Z. You might be surprised, but there are. I wonder if currently we are having Gen COVID. I hope not. But I feel it could be that big of a defining thing. In the book I'm reading, there is a character called Corona Beth. Isn't that just the best name ever? Corona Beth. I want to be named Corona Beth. I'm reading the Locked Tomb trilogy. So the first one is Gideon the Ninth. It's basically necromancers in space, murder mystery, witty dialogue, and banter. I like him. The sequel is a little demanding because it turns a lot of the first book, like a lot of the things you thought you knew, on its head. Like, yeah, I can recommend them. They're fun. Necromancers in Space and Murder Mystery. Yeah. Also, kind of lesbian necromancers in space. How's that? Though it's very light on that, the romance thing. Certainly the first book is. I really like them. The first one called Gideon the Ninth, and the second one is Harrow the Ninth. Locked Tomb trilogy. Though the second book just came out this year, I think. So it's not completed yet. It's like dark but humorous. Kind of like Malifaux can be at times. Or a lot of the time. feel like we're painting the skin just for ages. Maybe I should just move on and then go back later if there's anything I feel like I need to fix. Swedish author or English? She is from New Zealand. Tamsin Muir. I butchered her name probably. I think it's a traditional New Zealand name. At least I think she's from New Zealand. Might have been Australia, but I'm pretty sure it's New Zealand. And the audiobook version is great. Like the narrator is very good. I listen to audiobooks quite a lot when I paint. Which is really quite nice. Because I used to get through, like, a few years ago, I felt so bad because I only got through 4 books that year, and I made a little vow that I would increase the number of books I go through every year. And so far, I've been keeping that vow. Yeah, great listen while painting, for sure. And listening to these books just really made me want to play more wrestlers. So yeah, if you want literature that really captures the feel of these outcast, crazy resurrectionists, I think they work really well. Should work pretty well for you. Shall we do a little bit of painting on... Actually, yeah, the lips. Let's do the lips again. I had to wet the paint, so we're doing them, adding a little bit of red there. Maybe I'm overdoing it. And maybe a final highlight of... a tiny highlight of Citadel Wraithbone. Maybe that could work, or maybe it would make things too bright. We'll see. Can always glaze things down. Like hitting that magnificent chin. The cheekbones. The teeth. Could do that. Oops. I made a mistake. I didn't mean to do that. Hey, where's my black paint? There. I'll do tiny little dots of highlights here to get some shine. Just in these select few areas, and maybe up here. There. Mixing a little bit of that wraith bone with a little bit of red. Working on that lip. I'm going back to the cheekbones with a little bit of brown there. I think they got a tiny bit too dark, bright, not dark. And maybe this area is too dark. What do we think of this? Maybe I like his chin is too bright. So we're hitting it with a little bit of watered down cat action flash. I think now we will go back in with some green paint to work on those green clothes. So we painted them lupercal green, and now I'll highlight that with Cabalite green. Same color as we used on the last model to tie them together. Following along these raised areas of the cloth, which are pretty clear. Visible creases in the folds and the cloth. Creases in the folds. I do speak in weird ways sometimes. Really like this green. It's got a lot of pop. Or it will have when we're done. that, I'm not sure if this, like the uppermost part here, should like part of the loincloth or part of the pants, or if it's a belt, like this uppermost raised area. Guess I could look at the artwork. So with the basis for these two harpooners, or actually the whole, maybe the whole Turning Tides box, I was thinking I'd do them like standing on a beach with tiny little waves hitting the shore. I think that could look pretty cool. So a lot of water effects going on here for me. That's fun. Just takes a bit of time to make the bases. Do you do a bunch of water effect bases, Coslado? Like the first water effects bases I made pretty much. I did them with the old Citadel water effects, which are, well, it's discontinued. And I had these ant-like creatures, treekin for Warhammer Fantasy battles, and I wanted some of them to walk in like puddles of water. So I made some water effects, and I also put strings of fishing line, basically. I drilled holes in the bases and glued some fishing line in there, and I put a lot of like little drops of water effects on these strings to make water splashes I didn't know of, or maybe it didn't exist, but like I didn't have access to like water effects stuff to easily make water splashes at the time. This was back in 2011, I think. I was really proud of those bases. And I know a lot of people were impressed at the tournaments too, which is cool. Like, water effects are a pretty good way to make people go, ooh, that's cool. Standing on the depressing English beach you mentioned before. Yeah, English or Swedish. Turns out they're pretty damn similar. Like, I've been to England a lot, but not to beaches. Secret Weapon Realistic Water, but they're going out of business. Oh, they are? That's a shame. Or I haven't used any of their stuff, but always sad when stuff doesn't turn out the way people want them to. Woodland Scenics, Water Ripples Gel. Yeah, I use a similar one by Vallejo. Actually, the first time using it, but I'm doing some pretty cool work on Bo Peep's base. I think it's starting to look pretty cool. Can't wait to show you guys. Oh no, I missed that. I saw someone subscribe, but I missed who it was. Was it Freshit follower Mr. Zealous? Maybe that was you? Welcome to the stream and welcome to Play Weird. How are you doing? If there was a follower after Mr. Zealous, I'm sorry I didn't catch that. It's a little tricky since we're miniature painting streamers. Sometimes you miss the messages. Since we're staring at this little toy. Why did I say toy with such a weird weird tone? I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry, Tiny. Kitty, do you dislike the closed door? Fishing line combined with Citadel art code. Yeah, that works for a lot of things. Spittle strands. Now those are words. Yeah, like gruesome monsters with spittle. Yeah, I did that on the Insidious Madness I got as a Twitter avatar. I did like spittle, like lots of saliva running from the mouth. It can look really cool. And disgusting. There. Time to go for that Sybarite green paint. Kid is drinking water like it's the best thing ever. I don't know if it gets picked up on the mic, but she's making some noise. You did that in the Melisaurus. Yeah, nice. Your Melisaurus looked great. I really liked it. So I added some Sybarite green to the Cavalite green mix. Or I made a mix. It wasn't a mix before. Pretty transparent color. Gonna get several layers to build this up. You can use that to your advantage to like build it up a little bit at a time. Because these blue-green Citadel paints they don't cover all that well. But since acrylic paints are semi-transparent, I guess you could say, you can use that to your advantage and build up highlights a little bit at a time, painting the same area, leaving a little bit more untouched every time, and you'll build up a pretty good blend. You know, the sentence "I just did that in my Mollusaurus rex's mouth" is a little weird. Just saying. Do, 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 do. Phrasing, yeah. I do phrase things in pretty awkward, weird ways at times. Maybe you've noticed. We're gonna go over it with Sybarite green again very soon. Like, this is a mix with Cavalite green and Sybarite green, and we're gonna go over it with some pure Sybarite green to make this pop a little bit more, but we've got just a few more highlights to place down first. Went for a massage today because my shoulders and neck have been very sore. I know complain about that in at least one stream. But it was so nice. Like I almost fell asleep. Is Sybarite green the official paint of Sybarite Painting? No. But I really do like blue-green tones. Like, I didn't name it after the paint, but it's a little funny with the name of the paint, and I really like it. I think I got a little bit of a reputation for painting a lot of turquoise earlier. Although, to be fair, I do paint a lot of red stuff too. I really like blue and green hues. A little bit more Coke and some of that pure, nice Sybarite green. Going for a very bright highlight on the bandana bandage eye patch thingy. And we want to draw the viewer's gaze to the head and the face, right? So I think we're gonna go real bright with this bandana. And maybe a little bit darker on the trousers. We'll see if I can keep from highlighting that as much. Because I'm thinking darker trousers, maybe. We'll see. Could just mix white into the Sybarite green, but I've got the brighter one in the same series, Ghost Blaster Green. So, epic name for a paint. Ghost Blaster Green. I'm doing a tiny highlight like this. Really want to fish for the viewer's attention with this bandana. Hi, Haunted Miniatures. How are you doing? Haunting around? Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Trying to nail this color balance. And value, since we want to reel the viewer in a bit towards the face. Sharing this spooky love, yeah. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Spooky love. Those lips could do with a tiny bit more highlight. Some wraith bone with a tiny bit of red. And like little dots across the lips. Seems fishy, yeah. Fishy tactics. So I want to see. Is that part of his loincloth or a belt or what is it? Got lots of cards here. Harpooner. No, it's part of his trousers. Okay. Obviously, don't have to paint everything just like the artwork, but it can be a good guide. See, I was wondering, like, if... Oh, got a close-up of my hand there. I was wondering if this uppermost part here, the cloth, if that was part of the trousers or if it was supposed to be like the loincloth or a belt. Didn't really look like a belt, but Tiny is reeling the viewer in with his face and not his harpoon. Yeah, well, like, it's got a pretty face. Might as well use it. So I like puns. You guys like puns? And I really like the the faces people make when you make puns. That's part of the charm, I think. Oh boy, more teeth. Just finished that tooth hatchet of Mr. Ngatoro last night. Yeah? Got Ngatoro Jr.? Which I gotta paint in a while. Still think it's a little funny that the sculptor turned the female harpooner, that they turned her necklace, shark tooth necklace, into an underboob. Or more cleavage, at least. So looking forward to seeing Mr. Natoro. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm gonna have to keep my eyes out for your version. I don't have that starter box yet. Yeah, glad you like puns. Weird, Kyle. The stronger the eye roll, the better the pun. So I really like one from the Last of Us DLC, where they find a book of puns. So what did the cannibal get when she was late for the dinner party? I'm realizing now as I tell this that I can't see your eye rolls, so that defeats part of the purpose, but yeah. What did the cannibal get when she was late to the dinner party? She got the cold shoulder, of course. I mean, of course she did. And now I can't see the eye rolls. So that's sad. Right, yeah, Harata is his first name. That's the one. I guess maybe instead of eye rolls, we'll get unfollows. I'd be sad, but what can you do? What can you do? Should have looked up like more nautical pants. Showing striped highlights. Really giving some definition to these creases in the cloth. I'm really fishing for laughs, yeah, I am. Or eye rolls. Still going at it with this Sybarite green. Hi, Pixel Head. Nice to see you here. We're painting a Harpooner, like the very muscular pal of the pretty muscular female Harpooner that we painted and finished last stream. Guzlado here has named this guy Tiny Tim. I'm not entirely sure if that's what I'll be calling him, but it's a name. It's a project name, perhaps. We're also licking the brush. That is an optional step. So how are you doing today? You saw the female version. Lovely. Thanks. Glad you like it. I'm highlighting with one of my favorite colors, Sybarite green, because it's got like such a good name and it looks good. I thought this spooky green worked pretty well for these nautical minis. Do some dotted highlights here, suggesting a worn knee on the trousers, maybe. Could name him Mr. Bubbles in honor of Lilo and Stitch. Wow, you guys you're not very serious, are ya? All these silly names. Like, I'm a very serious person. Didn't you notice? I've got an insidious madness called Steve. That's how serious I am. Also, hi, Weird Kim. Nice to see you pop by. How are you doing? Mr. Bubbles. Maybe. Doing some tiny little highlights with Ghost Glossy Green because I can't help myself. I know I said I wanted the pants to be darker so as to reel the viewer into the face. But I kind of want to do a few little highlights with this color. Maybe we can do a pure white little dot on the bandana eye patch thingy trademark. So you're having a good day, Kim and Pixelshed? He can be Shark Killer, Destroyer of Fish, Bane of the Tide. That's a pretty damn good name. Now we're talking. Mr. Bubbles is nice too, though. Hey, is it like, don't they call the Big Daddy in Bioshock Mr. Bubbles at times? Or something like that? Big Daddy. Hot Miniatures, I just pulled the box out and saw you meant about the female Harpooners necklace, Elinore. That is a clever wardrobe choice. Yeah, like, is it cleavage? Is it shark tooth? We don't know. Working late, yeah. Hanging there. I'm doing fine. Had a massage today and that was lovely and needed. Okay, gonna try and paint the eyes. Or eye. Sorry. Sorry, Mr. Bubbles. I know we only got one. Or is doing the pirate thing. Did you know that pirates with an eye patch, they didn't, from what I've gathered, they didn't do that because they were blind in one eye. They did that to preserve the dark vision they had from being under deck. That's pretty cool. So if you put one eye in shadow like this, you still have dark vision. Or dark vision, but like, you know what I mean, I think. When Malfoy would be the best masseuse. Nexus, maybe. Maybe Nexus. Lots of limbs, lots of knowledge in that hive mind. I feel like Shenlong gives a pretty mean massage too. He knows all these pressure spots, you know? Perhaps you don't want a mean massage though, I guess. Yeah, they switched the side of the patch when they went under deck. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And that way you can preserve the daylight vision too. So maybe that is what this character is doing. Maybe. Doing a tiny white dot. There we go. Dots. Lynch, great on massages. Good finger work. Yeah, maybe. Just don't drink the water they give you afterwards. Always tend to get like a glass of water afterwards, right? Don't drink that. Not in the Honeypot Casino massage parlor. So next up, I'm going to paint the shark teeth. And I'm mixing some, like I base coated those in Steel Legion Drab. And I'm mixing some Rackar Flesh in with Steel Legion Drab to highlight them. And on this big one, we got some texture. Maybe this highlight is a little harsh. I did wash this with shade, so maybe I should have like done a highlight with Steel Agent Drab first, but we can work with this. So I'm doing this striped highlights because it's got this texture, and we want the darkest parts to be like towards the base of the tooth. I really wonder what Malifaux sharks are like. Actually, gonna grab a little bit of Steel Agent Drab and use that to highlight the back side. Like a very generous highlight. We're covering almost everything up. Steel Agent Drab, trying to leave just the dark like crevices. It's fine to paint over some of them because we'll be highlighting this up quite a lot, I think. Going back with the Rackar Flesh Steel Agent Drab mix. So gotta paint these smaller teeth. Please we'd do a land shark model pushed around on a cart or something. You know, they made sharks with legs, like the Frenzy in the Other Side game. So maybe you're referencing something with the shark pulled around. I don't, in that case, I don't get that reference. Striped highlights, trying to follow the texture of the sculpt. We also did that, like the shark model for Pirate Molly. It's pretty cute. Or if it's that shark lantern fish thingy. Lots of quirky models. Then we'll go over that with even thinner highlights. Using pure rock earth flesh, leaving some of the rock earth flesh Steel Legion drab mix showing. It's pretty transparent, at least if you water down your paints properly. So might need to play 2 layers in a lot of places. I'm then going to highlight this even brighter, I think. But we're gonna have to do that next stream because time is running out. It's pretty badass to have shark teeth, shoulder pads as big as these. Oh, darn it. I forgot to paint this handguard, maybe? Gauntlet thingy? How do you keep the color wet on the brush for such a long time? I don't know. Like, do you make sure your brush is moist? Maybe you paint under, like, closer to the lamp, and that way your paint dries more quickly. Could that be it? Or maybe I just lick my brush more. Or maybe your place is more hot than mine. Those are the only things I can think of. You can use drying retarder, or glaze medium will also make it stay wet longer. But I don't. This is just water and me licking the brush. Like, like an idiot. Like a brush licker. So just quickly gonna highlight these up too. It's fine if you make these look a little jagged. It looks pretty cool. Like the roughened up shark teeth, and maybe they've seen some combat with this guy. So we're going to be wrapping the stream up in just a minute. And continue working on this body on my next stream, which is on Thursday at noon EST. And this is how far we got today. In just 30 minutes, we'll have haunted miniatures. Continuing his work on this stream. So if you want to see some more painting, you can look at haunted miniatures painting. And that's in 30 minutes. If you want to see more of what I do, you can have a look at Sybarite_painting on Instagram and YouTube, and here on Twitch, I'm Sybel, SYBHEL. Nice teal, amazing brushwork. Thanks. Thanks a lot. That's nice to hear. Yeah, and I'll also be notifying you when I've got like the tutorial up for my swamp bases, which will be on YouTube. But like I'll show them off on here on Twitch on the stream too. Sorry, we're not just on Twitch, we're on YouTube and Facebook too, but yeah, you get it. So happy pals. Coming along pretty good, I think. Then we just gotta decide what color to put the loincloth to paint it in. I think maybe that blue that she's got for her shirt. We'll see. Yeah, but it's been real nice hanging out with you and painting with you. And if there's anything you're wondering about, just hit me up. Otherwise, I'll see you noon on Thursday EST. Bye. Stay weird.